You're welcome back. Now, let's talk about women in banking, to be precise. Now, a lot of things have happened. Of course, we're still mourning the loss of the CEO of Access Core, Dr. Herbert Wigwe. Our hearts go out to the family, and of course, we mourn him now. But following his passing, of course, we did have a replacement there, Ms. Bolaji Agbede, a versatile professional with over 27 years experience in human resources management, customer relationship management, and banking operations. She's proven a record of successful people in integration during mergers and acquisition, culture transformation, and execution of corporate strategy. She commenced her professional career in the banking sector in Guarantee Trust Bank, served in various capacities, including relationship manager and vault custodian. She diligently distinguished herself and swiftly rose from the grade of executive trainee in 1992 to manager in 2001. And she subsequently served as the chief executive officer of JKG Limited in 2003, a business consulting outfit. So she's just one. We have some other women who are also very active and leading when it comes to the banking sector. For instance, we do have for Fidelity, she's just, her tenure has just been extended for another 2 years. That's joining us right there. And also, we do have Mrs. Shola David Boha, ex-Stanbic CEO. We have Ms. Yemisi Edun, FCMB, and of course, some other women. We also have from Unity Bank also. So we see women taking on more leading roles in the banking sector. So we have their pictures there, Dr. Neka, right there. Yesterday we had that news that our tenure has been extended to 2026. And then we have the CEO of Unity, we have for FCMB. And of course, I remember I had a conversation with Mrs. Shola David Boha some time ago when she was the CEO of Stanbic. We celebrate these women and we talk about women in the banking sector. And joining me to have this conversation is Vida Echetabu. She's a consultant general for Fourth Avenue. It's a woman thing right now. And we see women taking up major roles, leading roles in the banking sector. This is just a bit that we remember, just about 5 of them. What do women bring to the table? We've been talking about gender equality for a long time. So if you really want true development, you have to include the women. What do they bring to the table?
You know, before I answer that question, it's interesting, you know, you brought in that aspect because next month is International Women's Day, and interestingly, the theme is inspiring inclusion, you know, which just goes into how we are making sure that ladies are now brought to the table. And in fact, if we don't bring us to the table, we're making a table of our own, you know. So in addition to the ability of ladies being able to multitask, you know, to be insightful, and, you know, we have that thing that is called the gut. You know, the guts, the instinct, it's quite keen, especially when it's been harnessed properly. So along with our regular brains, we're bringing in all sorts of, you know, value in terms of insight, perspective, you know, being able to read circumstances. It's an innate thing, which of course can be harnessed. And, you know, we bring a lot of that to the table. Yes.
But I mean, we've seen, for instance, Mrs. Shola David Boha, she's been there. Now she's no longer there as Stanbic. Now we have, of course, the newest entrant, Ms. Agbede. Well, congratulations to her.
Yes.
Although the circumstances, you know, is sad. But what can we notice? And then we have Dr. Neka, obviously her tenure just extended.
Yes, phenomenal.
And we know that for her, Dr. Neka, we see a lot of attention from Fidelity on small businesses.
Yes.
I wonder if that's the touch of a woman. If we look at the trend, is there something we can notice as a trend coming from women who are leading?
Yes. Short answer, yes. And particularly with Dr. Nneka, I mean, we've tried to pay some attention to the performance of the bank, the trajectory, how they have made sure that they have carved a niche for themselves in the medium, small scale enterprise, niche of the financial sector, and they have made phenomenal strides. I mean, look at just even their general performance, profit before tax, before at the point of her ascension to that office was about just over 38 billion naira, and as at last year, this year to date, should be about 122 billion. So we're talking about close to quadrupling, PBT, which is instructive. We've seen them play strongly in the exports regulatory niche, again, which speaks to the SME space. And I can take it on good authority that they actually have some major plans for that space. They are building what we would call an MSSM Village, a hub, and it's a massive project because anybody in leadership, whether it's governmental leadership, whether it's industry leadership, knows that SME space, that's the engine room of any economy.
So is that a woman's touch, or is just a needed, necessary touch that any CEO would have taken?
I think that there is no exclusivity to both. I think that there is both the female touch and a strategic touch. Everybody can be gunning for, how will I put it, the obviouses. But to go into the SME space in a nation like ours that data has not always been where it should be, it's a bit what's the word, cloudy. So it takes somebody of her pedigree with a lot of guts, I mean, if you look at her personal resume, she's a lawyer, MBA, she has an MBA, she's an alumni of Harvard, Oxford, INSEAD. I mean, we can go on and on.
Yeah, so let's talk about the latest entrant, Ms. Agbede. She is trying to fill a very big role.
Absolutely.
And it really takes a lot. I wonder how she would perform, because there's a lot of high expectations. Everybody's talking about Dr. Wigwe and his works and all of that. It could be daunting.
Yes, it could be. I believe that at another program I've had before, she doesn't have big shoes to fill. She just needs to wear her own shoes and come to the party. The circumstances are not pleasant. Nonetheless, people who give birth on the same day that somebody passes on have to also celebrate the babies that are born. So we will not cherry pick, but we will acknowledge, So we celebrate her. We also celebrate Dr. Nneka. They're doing amazing things. I believe that I can instructively say, going by the feelers, that I wouldn't be surprised if Fidelity has an IPO coming up. I mean, anybody who is even just interested, because they have literally improved their stocks from over 200%, from when she ascended office. So there's been quite a lot in that space, and the ladies they're really, coming to the party.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, it's time to party for the women, but we wish Ms. Agbede the very best.
Do.
And of course, the media will be following her to ensure that. But thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Ini. Have a wonderful one.
And you too.
Okay, then.
All right, it's almost time now, but we can tell you a little bit about the numbers of the market yesterday. The NGX rebounded strongly, 1.76% at 103,498.28. Equities was up at 56.632, and that's added about 980 billion naira at the close of trade. It was all green for activity sectors. Insurance was down. Banking is back and industrial goods. Okay, there we have the numbers. If I can just use that so you have a better picture and see it on your mind. So banking, consumer goods in the green, industrial and insurance, however, lost, but oil and gas, Seplat, had a great move, a big jump yesterday. And then we'll see how the market goes at intraday. So do join me at 1 p.m. for Business Incorporated. By then we'll have intraday numbers and see how the market is faring, and have a conversation also. So you don't want to miss it at 1 p.m. For now, let's go back to the Sunrise Daily studio.